Hey everyone. So today just like for anyone who wasn't here yesterday, I'll just quickly go over the Zoom meeting controls and like how it's formatted basically. So in Zoom, if you go to the participant menu and if you hover over your name, you should see something that says raise hand or like on that part raise hand. In Zoom, when you raise your hand, when I go through the lesson, most people should stay muted until like if you raise your hand, sometimes I'll check the participant menu. If I see that you've raised your hand, then you can then I'll call on you and you can just speak out kind of like a normal classroom. And sometimes I'll do like a quick poll of like anyone who's here and like if you're done, raise your hand. Sometimes I'll do that. So different things like that. And I'll mostly use that to communicate with you guys. So today we'll be focusing on something a little different. So yesterday we did HTML and the basics of that. So everyone here should have a Glitch account. If you don't have a Glitch account already, while I'll be showing you a few more things, make sure to make that if you weren't here yesterday. Glitch.com, I'll type in the chat so it's a little easier for you. It's just HTTPS glitch.com. And then now would be the time for any questions you had, like when you were tinkering around. If you had any questions, any more questions, just like from last time that you didn't understand or anything. I believe I answered all the email questions that I received. Does anyone have any of them? No? Okay, great. So then, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Just making sure. Okay. So let me quickly share my screen and right over here. So same thing. Basically what we went over yesterday are the different types of tags. We went over heading tags, I believe. We went over link tag, like A tags, which link. We went over what attributes are, and we went over paragraph tags, and I think that's about it. And now today we'll be learning more tags first, then before going into HTML. There are a few like important tags to know for CSS, and just in general, one tag that I forgot to show, which was or that I didn't have time to show, which was the image tag. So if everyone can pull up Glitch once again, once you've pulled up Glitch and got everything set up, raise your hand. Wait, we aren't doing CSS yet. Let me stop sharing. There we go. There we go. And then once you have your project opened up.
How do you raise hand?
It should be like, do you see a participant menu on your computer or like a menu of everybody on there? Like,
Yeah.
then if you hover over your name, do you see something that says raise hand?
No, it's actually at the bottom.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. There are many different ways to do it. It's just like they include it everywhere. I believe in the newest update, Zoom also added reactions. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's fine.
So I'll give it until like 3:05 because it's not too hard. Oh, I think most people are hearing me. Because you might want to check your audio settings. If you go to your mic, there's like a little arrow to the right of your mic. If you press that, then yeah, also connect to audio. There's like a pop-up. If also you can choose which speaker. If you have multiple speakers, then you can do that. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Excuse me, what were you supposed to do? Because I had a little trouble setting something up. So.
Oh wait, just go to glitch.com and open your project from yesterday.
So, wait, do I press resume coding?
Oh yeah, so you can press resume coding or you can press, there should be, here, if you see my screen right now,
Yes.
you should see like a little thing. Hello, Ike is what I named my before. You can click on that, or you can press resume coding for the last one you were programming.
Okay.
For me, yeah, that's the same thing. Hold on.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So how do you, when you pull up the participants, I don't know how to move that back to the side. It's not working.
You can exit out of it. I believe there should be an X button at the top left, maybe that. I'm not 100% sure on the, like, are you on Mac or Windows? And if you're viewing my screen, if it's a pop-up, then there should be an X button. If it's not a pop-up, there should be like a little dragging thing. Okay, so I think everyone's good. Everyone who, I'm gonna assume everyone who didn't raise their hand just can't raise their hand right now. Okay, great. So basically, now that you have an index or HTML kind of like that, what we're going to do now is learning how to put images in it. So if, oh, cool, someone is on my thing. So if you go into your live app again and you copy it and you go to that link, and here is my project. Now we're going to look for an image, for example, a cat image. If you look for a cat and you're like, oh, these are such cute cats, I want a cat image. So then you go look at this. Oh, look, oh, wait, people are waiting. There.
Okay.
And then you just right click and then you see, look at all of these. There should be something saying copy image location. What this basically does is like, when you go to a website, you remember how yesterday I talked about how it serves you an HTML page, like it gives you the file and your browser chooses to do that. The thing is, servers can do that with almost any file. And what you do with the image location, like if I look at this in my URL bar, what it does is it's cat.png is serving me this file. And then if I press enter, you'll see the file, just that file. Now what you're going to do is you're going to try and put that file on your page, which you can do through an image tag. But unlike the other tags we've learned, it's kind of like the doc type HTML tag. It's oh wait, if you weren't here yesterday, I put the video of it up before. Also, if you weren't here yesterday, just answering Ruthvik in the chat. It's basically, we learned the basics of HTML. So if you already know a little bit about HTML, it should be easier. You can also check the YouTube video. That's probably the best way. Or you can watch it at like 2 times speed while skipping every 5 seconds to go through it like a lot faster.
How do you put the background again?
The background to color, like a colored background.
No, just like the picture background.
Oh yeah, I'm getting to that right now.
Oh, okay.
And for example, image source, because the source of the image will be the image that we just copied, the cat.png. And then it's a self-closing tag, which we learned yesterday was this. And the self-closing tag basically means you're ending the tag so it doesn't have a second closing one. Now, if you do that and you go to the next page right here, right, and if you go to our page right here, and you should see the cat image. Yeah. And we'll learn how to style it later, like shrinking it and everything. But in HTML, it has cool stuff like to change the width of the image. It's something cool. It's called the width attribute, where you can change the width to, say, 10. And that's in px, so in pixels. So let's do 100 pixels on the screen. And does anyone here know what pixels are?
The small things that make up the whole photo.
Yeah, basically. So on your screen, if anyone heard 1 HD, like I have an HD 4K display, that basically means they're 4,000 pixels or 100,080 by something pixels on the screen. So then they're tiny lights that make up your entire screen. So this is 100 of those lights and width. So you can make any size photo. Anyone have any questions so far?
Yes, what do you click? When you right click the photo, what do you click?
You would want to click copy image location. And then that's because it's where it's located on the server. The URL is just like where it is.
Oh, I don't have that. I only have copy image address.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
copy image address should work too.
Okay.
Location, address, it's just like don't copy image because that copies the actual image and you can't really copy that into anything.
What do you do after you press copy image address?
Then you can add it into your HTML tag, like here, right here. You can put it inside your HTML tag to add an image onto your page. For example, the source of the image is that, which would be your image address or etc.
So what do you type?
Like, you remember the copy image address that you just pressed?
Uh-huh.
You want to paste that over here.
But what are the first few things that you type?
Oh, so do you know what a tag is?
Yeah.
So then we're taking the image tag with the width attribute. We learned about attributes yesterday. They're basically tiny identifiers inside the first tag. And since this is a self-closing, it just closes on itself. There's no other part to tag like this one has a closing one. It closes itself. So then the attribute is right here. The width attribute is then 100 pixels. The source of the image is that place the image we just put, the address of the image, and then it closes itself.
Do you put quotation marks on the end?
Oh no. So basically what the quotation marks signify is stuff that, like, if you have an attribute, then you have the equal sign, then you have the quotation mark, then you have the value of the attribute, then you have another quotation mark. That's
no, I'm
how.
saying, did you add it or did it come with the link?
Oh no, it's the one that you just copied right here. Like here.
Will everyone have that?
With equals, okay. That
Yeah.
makes a little more sense.
Like, for example, here, by everyone have it, if you search up an image, and if you do it, there will always be an image location to the image. Then if you have the image location, you can put that image on your site. For example, this image will also have an image location.
Source equals tuition.
Yeah, and this is something we'll get to later. But yeah. And then the cool thing about Glitch, which is the place we're hosting it, is that if you go to assets, you don't have any assets right now. So I'm going to upload an asset. And does anyone know what an asset means? Anyone have an idea? It's basically a file that you can put on your server, on the server. So an asset is like, the formal definition of asset is a use for a property owned by a person or company regardless of having value. So it's basically like a property that you're putting on your site. Then if you go here, I'm going to upload this image, just a random image I have on my computer. Actually, let's put this image. And then if I upload that, and then what happens when I upload it is that it's going to Glitch's servers. Glitch is like, okay, thank you. I'll take the file and I'll put it somewhere on my server so I can serve it to you. And then the URL for that, they give it to you and you can just press copy. And then that way you don't have to rely on anyone else to have your image with you. You can just go here and then that same link, since it's the location of the image, you can just paste it right here. And then you can go over here and see that same one right over there. Just let it load. But it'll give you the exact same page.
Wait. So we should just paste the link.
Yeah, you can paste the link over there and it'll show up over there. Yeah. So that's basic.
How should we get the link of an asset?
So once you upload an asset, you click on it, and then it'll give you a link right down here. You just copy it. There's a copy button. And basically, what you're doing right now is you're giving the file to Glitch to have, and then they are giving it back to you when you load the page, basically. So then you can paste there and it should show up right there. Okay, so then what we're going to learn now is how to style your page, how to make it basically different colors. Or like that. We'll see that as like the basics right now. Does anyone have any questions before we go on to that and like how everything here works? Any questions on anything?
Yeah, it's not working for me actually.
Do you have this like exact? Most likely people will have the same problem as you. So like, can you paste your link like right here? Can you paste that link in the chat, please? And then I can help you with that.
I think I actually figured it out.
Okay, great.
I'm having trouble with something. How do you go to the page where I don't know what you call it,
Assets?
No, like
the white page,
What?
the
the website.
yeah,
Oh,
this.
So
How do
you
you go
press
to
share, then live app, then this first link, you want to press copy because you're copying the link. And this is the page that all of this will be given to. And then you go and paste that link. And
Wait,
then
so-
this is the site. Like that's the site for the link. And then, yeah.
you copy paste that?
Yeah, into a different tab. Or the same tab, but like anyone won't be able to edit your code.
For some reason, my image isn't really working.
Mine either.
Which one? Is it one that you uploaded to Glitch or like in general the image?
The one that I uploaded in the code.
Okay, let me see quickly. Was it? Oh, let me take one that has an image location. Let me quickly take that and paste that in my code, and then right here, and it should show up. So then, what problems are you having? Like, can you show your code quickly for like paste your link in the chat, and we can quickly go over it.
Okay.
Like, if anyone has a problem, you can always paste your link in the chat.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
On the code, you know the link part? When you press the link, how do you make it go somewhere else?
Into a different website.
Yeah.
So if
a
you
Word
have an A tag, which is a link tag, so then right here, if you have an A tag and you say hello world, then if you put the attribute href, which is what we went over yesterday, then you can link it to any site in the world. Like for example, here, I wanted to link to, like, let's see, this site. And then you href it to that, and bam. Now if I go to my site, for some reason my site isn't loading well. Let me quickly try something.
Like, how do you put it to like a document or like a Word document or PDF or something?
So we'll go over that in a bit, probably later, because what that basically you would do is it's trying to download files, because either one, you would have to make your own file reader to read it in the browser, or you can make it download the file, the website to download the file, which would be a lot harder.
Okay.
Okay.
What does href mean?
Href, it's basically, it's a bit technical. It's like referring it to that link.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm having a little bit trouble. I can't get the picture.
Yeah. Oh, wait, there. Where, can you post your link in the chat then?
How do you do that?
Oh, like the link right here. Here, in the chat. And then I can take a look at it. Basically, it should work as long as you have the source linked to a correct image. And then going on to what
Oh,
this
never
person,
mind. I think I found my mistake.
going on to what this person, Ananya, had, is that what you did is you pressed copy link location. Like if I go
Yes.
here, you said press copy link location. You want to press copy image location, image address. If you press copy link location, it'll just redirect you to the website. And the website isn't really a URL, isn't
It's
an
not
image.
really letting me copy the image's location.
What does it say when you right click it?
Like, how do you copy it?
It could be
There's,
copy image address too.
yeah, image location, image address, copy image, then something indicating, like copy image URL, copy image something.
Oh, so copy image address? 'Cause I
Yeah.
have that. Oh, okay. I think I didn't do that.
Does this
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, the problem with what this person has is, like we learned yesterday, you need to have the body tag in it. The head tag is for the title. You need to have a head for that. So that's one thing that you would need to fix, is add a head tag. I can't really edit it without like remixing it, but basically you want to add a head tag to with the child of the title tag, and then you want to have a body tag, which is this. And the body, as I said yesterday, is basically anything that is on the page. Like this, everything that's on the page will be in the body tag. Anything that isn't on the page, like this icon, would be, yeah, so perfect. And you would need to put this in the body tag.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you actually put the picture in that on that link or that tab, what would, like, without, if you don't add any attributes like how you have had it, like the width, which is 100, how many pixels are in the actual image? How would you figure that out?
So it's not exactly definite how many pixels are in a image. An image can be, for example, this image. If I copy and paste it into my browser just to take a look at it, this image is going to be that large on my site. So an image, like for example, a 4K image is going to have 4,000 pixels. A very small image, like if I take a picture, a screenshot of just that, that's going to have about that, whatever length pixels that is. So for example, if I take a screenshot from here to here, that is 77 pixels long. Images can vary in pixel length and pixel width. They're not all like definite. That's why you want to limit it to a certain pixel count or like a certain size so that it's easier.
Is there a way to figure out how many, like, estimate around?
For me, I just put in 500. I didn't estimate, and then it just worked.
Width equals 500, yeah. You could do that. That's
Yeah, and that worked
basically,
pretty good for me.
yeah. So always web development is just a game of guess and check. You're like, okay, does 500 look good? Let's go to my site. Oh, it doesn't look good. Let's change it back, etc.
First I did with 50,000, and then I changed it to 500.
Yeah. So stuff like that. And I think maybe Glitch is slowing down a bit, but yeah. So now we're going to learn what CSS is. So what CSS is basically, we learned that HTML is just white text on a background going up and down. We also learned what div tags were, is basically grouping other elements together. And children are basically grouping those elements together, and those elements are called children, in case they use that terminology that you don't understand. So now with CSS, we can apply, there are three main ways to apply CSS. The first way, the easiest way, which I'm going to teach you, is style, the style attribute. Bam, you have the style attribute equals quotation marks. Same like we did in the href attribute, the width attribute, the source attribute. With this attribute, you can specify a style. I currently have in the Hack Club page, on the university page, if you go to the file section, I uploaded a CSS cheat sheet, which basically has a list of all CSS attributes or CSS styles that are there, because it's kind of confusing to know them all it takes some time to memorize them. Sometimes some of them are like very obscure, you may not remember them. But one cool one is color, which basically changes the color of the text to make the color red. So now the header one, the color will be red. Oh yeah, here, as I was showing you, the style, and if you go into files, if you go here, you should see that pane, you press files, and then you should see the page right about here. Right now it's slow. I think it's because of my internet for some reason. No, it's probably glitches servers that are slow because my project was also a little weird. But if you go there, you should see it. Then if we go over here and we reload the page, it's going to turn red. Bam. So then the header one, the color is now red. Really cool. Now,
Where do we go?
the same site that we were at last time. Like it updates automatically.
Style equals quotation. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So
Can you show
now,
the code again?
yeah, I'll go over it in a bit. Like here, and then you need to add that semicolon, because the semicolon. So like, let's look at everything that's here. The color is what it's going to be. The colon is separating the attribute from the style from what you want it to be. Like, I want the color to be, then that colon separates it. I want it to be red. Then a semicolon to say, okay, red has stopped, and now I can start a new one. For example, if I want the background color to be green, semicolon. And remember, if you don't want to memorize these, there's a cheat sheet there. You can search them up at the end, maybe at 340. I'll show you something cool. It's called W3 Schools, where
Hello?
you can basically, yeah, do you have a question?
Oh yeah, so I was actually having questions before, but my audio wasn't even working. So like my audio had just stopped. Even I wasn't on mute or anything, but I had some questions for the
Oh, great.
image.
So what are your
image-
questions? Oh yeah, here, background group.
Yeah. So I went to my image, and then let me show you. I went to my image. When I copied it, I only found I have the image width 500, and I have my source code. But is it supposed to be really long, or because when I copy the
So
link
yeah,
and
just a
paste in a
second.
new tab, it doesn't work.
Okay.
I don't see anything.
So basically what happens is sometimes what Google does is that when it's taking too long to load the image, they give you the raw data of the image. That's what's called the base 64 code. That's what I was trying to get to not do later. It seems like this image was base 64. No. Basically, if you see a long string of numbers and like random stuff, you try and use a different image. That stuff you can also paste into the source and it should work, but it'll be very long. Like
So,
imagine you're actually putting the image in your code, which isn't very normal.
Okay, so now that since my thing is super long, so should I try like a different image?
Yeah.
Okay, then I click copy link address.
Copy image address.
Copy image address. Okay, got it. Let me try that.
Great. And that should work. You can let me know later.
Okay.
And then, so going back onto CSS, does everyone understand kind of how this part of CSS works?
No, because I have a problem for the style, like for that line. It's not working.
Yeah, did you copy it exactly like what that is?
Yeah.
Like everything has to be lowercase. If it's capital, it doesn't work.
Everything is lowercase.
Did you ask, can you try sharing your link in chat then?
Wait, what link? That
And yeah, it should work out because that's yeah, like usually what most people do wrong at this step.
Now it's working. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, what most people do wrong at this step is either capitalize B, don't put the dash, stuff like that. Silly mistakes like that have cost me like hours of time just looking at it. So sometimes it's good to just take a look at stuff and make sure it's all correct. Now, if you use inspect element on the page, which is right click, then on Chrome in Firefox, I know for sure that they have inspect element. It's okay if you don't have inspect element. You can select this tag by clicking, there should be a button up here and you can select it. And then here you can see the CSS, the color.
How do you get the inspector thing?
As I said, click the right click, and then you should see inspect element. And it's okay if you don't, I'm just explaining it to you. It's okay, you don't need to have it right now. But right click, inspect element. Chrome and Firefox, I know for sure have it. Some school computers have it blocked though. So it depends on what computer you're on.
I don't have like, I'm on Google and then I don't see like the CS. I don't see the color red and background color green.
If you do it on like a different site, such as Google, and you go to inspect element, you need to select like here, this is the CSS of the page. It's it's a little more complicated. We'll learn about what cursor means, width, height mean, what a border is. You see kind of, there's color, font family, font size, font smoothing. Like some of these get really big and weird. But yeah. If you don't see CSS as soon as you open up your page, you can click on them and then it'll show you the CSS for it. Like for example here, if I click on this, there isn't anything. If I click on this, there isn't anything. But if I click on the specific one I put styles on.
Yeah, I see.
So then what I usually do is you can, if you want to see, oh, what colors look good, you can click on these and then just drag it around, see what colors look good. Let's say, oh, this looks so beautiful, right? Bam. Let's not make it black. Let's make it blue.
I
See,
have a question.
Mhm.
How do you make the color like the shades? Like I want like light blue, dark blue. How do you do that? Like whenever I do it, it doesn't work.
When you type in light blue.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Or
so
dark blue.
basically what a computer does not understand English per se. Someone had to go through it and like write every single value like red, blue. So computers don't really understand what light blue means. Like if I say I wanted a pretty shade of gray, it won't really understand it. What computers do understand though is this. I'm going to explain in just a bit. It's basically a hexadecimal, which basically means it's a hex color, which is a hex code number, which is 6 digits long, is 6 characters, and it contains numbers from 0 to F, I believe. You see F, G, H, I, G. Yeah, something like that. It's either 0 to F and it's 16, so it's 0 to 9 plus A to F, I believe, and uppercase and lowercase. So what this does is it specifies a specific color. So for example, I like that color that was kind of like black, and I like this background color. I can copy it, and this is a hexadecimal color. Computers understand this because to them, this is a lot easier than English. And then if I copy that and paste it, and I want to keep the color red because, and I reload the page, and ta-da! Oh wait, it'll take some time to load, but in the end, it should work. Yeah.
So how do you find the numbers again?
So it's called a color picker. So right here, if I go over here, if you press on the color red or that, like this little circle, I believe in Chrome, they also have it. You don't need to do this. This is just a way to get different gradients. You can always just like, there are a bunch of hard-coded colors. Just make it simple. Like if I type gray would work. But if I do like shiny purple, it probably won't work. You want to stick to simple colors if you're putting it in the box. In here.
Okay.
So how do you get that link where you can like choose the colors?
Yeah.
It's inspect element.
Okay.
and like right click, inspect element. Then on the side of this, you should see your code and your CSS. If you click on the one that you had the CSS on, you can click that to choose different gradients. Lots of web developers, it's always a game of guess and check. Oh, does this look good? No, it looks horrible. Let me go back. Let me change it a little. Oh, it looks great. Now, I'm just going to go over the better way to do it. There is a much better way of doing CSS, which is what most people use.
For me, it doesn't say the inspect.
Yeah, it only says inspect, not inspect element.
Yeah.
Well, then it'll be inspect something, or else like see page sort. It'll be something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
What browser are you using for inspect? Which has inspect?
I just right click on it and it.
Oh yeah, yeah, perfect.
But
So then for anyone who is confused, it's also inspect. Now, inside the head page, we're going to link the style.css here. What you're going to do is it's a new tag. It's the link tag because you're linking style.css, which is really cool. Then you're going to do rel, which basically tells what is this on the style sheet. It's a style sheet because it's a sheet of the styles. It's a sheet of styles. It's just a keyword. You can't change it. If I make this capital, it won't work. And that's exactly how you're supposed to type it. href equals, and then style.css. And it's a self-closing tag. So right here, it's going to link style.css since it's in the same folder, kind of. Imagine this is like a folder. Oh, do you have a question, Marwa?
Yeah, my color and background won't work.
Can you share your link in chat, please?
Okay. Wait, the one to the glitch.com, like that one, or like the actual website?
The link to glitch.com. Yeah. And then, yeah, this might be a problem that some of you would face in the future, so I'll go over this. Normally for personal questions, it would be better to email me, but since it's just class, most people would have this question. Where is
I deleted the color part because it wasn't working. I'll add it back.
Okay, great. Tell me once you're there. So then now you're linking style.css. Everyone should be like, this is one of the biggest parts of programming. So we're going to learn about Css selectors in the last 8 minutes of class. Yeah. So this is, if you type anything like this, the body, it's going to select the body tag. If I type h1, it's going to select the h1 tags. So if I put multiple h1 tags, then it's going to select all of those. That style inside of that is going to apply to every single one of those. And then this is what I'm going to be teaching for today is a comma. Comma basically means you're going to select multiple of them, h1 and body, for both of them. But for now, I'm just going to do h1, and I want all the h1 tags color to be blue. Simple enough. And then if I reload the page, I should see header 1, all of them are blue. Cool, right? And then it's the same way we learned last time, color, colon, blue, semicolon. And you need these curly brackets to indicate that you're encapsulating, basically, putting that style inside of it. And if it works if you minify it and encapsulate it too. Yeah, you had a question?
Yeah, so it doesn't work for me if I go to style CSS and then delete it all and then type like body, for example, and it doesn't like highlight it.
Can you elaborate more on what do you mean it doesn't highlight it?
Like you said, if you type body there and you go back to index HTML, it wherever you have body, if you have body there, it like.
Oh no, it doesn't highlight it. That was just me.
I think I misunderstood you probably.
Oh yeah, basically what a selection is that H1, and then it doesn't actually physically select it. The H1, anything inside of these apply to all the H1 tags. You're not actually, it won't show a selection in here. This is just me highlighting it.
Okay.
But in the style.css, the H1, every single style inside of this, instead of putting an attribute inside every single one of these tags, I can group all of them into one.
Would this work for like a division? Like, I remember that like
Div tag, yeah.
Yeah, div tag.
Yeah, that's exactly where we're going to go with this, because if you want to highlight all the div tags, you can do that. If you, for example, instead of doing this, I can also, if you put 2 and 2 together, you can do the div right here, and you put all of these H1 tags in it, and then, oh wait, whoops. There we go. Let me quickly format it to make it, oh wait, the syntax is wrong? Wait. Div H1, H1, H1. Oh wait, boom. So if you have it right here, you see this div tag, which is encapsulating all these header tags. If you put a style over here, the same style we used last time, color red, and it'll make every single one of those colors red. And then you can do this, for example, oh, I want all of these, then if I copy and paste this, I want all of these to be blue, color blue. And then you'll have a bunch of color blues. So red, blue. Now, the cool thing is, the thing about this is when you get to doing like 10 CSS styles, 15 CSS styles, and you want to do it in different places, then it gets kind of tedious because you need to write every single one again and again and again. So what we do over here is you can do stuff like all H1 tags instead of putting in H1. And now, if you wanted, since now we learned you can group them, then you can also do this. There's something called a class. What a class is it's basically a group. Like, for example, if you have, I don't know if any of you go to Hidden Hills, but you're in Miss Hink's class. Then if you're in Miss Hink's class, you can address the entire class by one name. And you can assign children to the class. Kind of like this, you can assign tags to the class. And in the style.css, you can address the entire class. So for example, here we're going to name this class red. Or how about let's make it easy for people to understand. So red color. And this style will be red color. So now we have these two, red color, and then we don't have to write the same thing again and again. And to address an entire class, oh yay, someone went to Hidden Hills. Yeet. You do the dot red color because you're addressing the red color. And then you do the same thing as last time, the same CSS selector. So now you do dot red color and then color red. Boom. And you just have a bunch of red tags. Just like that. Red color. Oh, wait, it's not style red color, it's class red color. My mistake. And then you go here. Oh, wait, I had it for 5th grade, so it was cool. So then header, all of these headers, and bam. So then other new tags I'm going to quickly go over in the last few minutes is going to be, there's the color tag. There is another thing, background color, which we went over. And now some of you might be like, I remember you asked yesterday, how do you make the entire page a different color?
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah. So then, does anyone know a tag that encapsulates the entire page? You can shout out right now, or just like say it in your mic.
Background color.
The what?
The background color.
Oh no, a tag that encapsulates everything that's shown on screen.
HTML.
It's the body tag, because the body is everything that's shown on the screen.
Okay, gosh.
So if you select the body tag, and if you do that, then if you do background color equals, let's say yellow, because I love yellows. Now here, you reload, bam, you have a fully yellow page.
Oh my god.
And then now with the last, like, I'll take maybe a minute more than usual, but
Wait, how again?
Yeah.
wait, there. So over here you have, since you're selecting the entire body, you want to select the body tag. So just like we saw last time, it's body.
Body and bracket color. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. And then if you have any like, oh wait, how do I make the edges of my image curved? Then you can always go to W3 schools or like search up on Google. For example, I want to make the edges of my image curved, right? Then how to make edges of image curved, HTML. Make sure to add the HTML thing, otherwise, or CSS, because otherwise it'll give you random stuff. How to make edges of my image curved, round corners on images. Usually you should always use W3 schools. It's it's like the best resource. It's the border radius property. Let's see, if I scroll down rounded corners, oh wait, how do I do this? Border radius 25 pixels. Let's see if I can copy that into my image. So I'm going to select my image, border radius 25 px, and let's see if I can make my, boom, I just made curved edges. So after some time of just doing it again and again and again, searching and searching and searching and memorizing, sometimes you'll memorize these again because you've been doing it for so long. But when you're starting out, it's absolutely okay to just search up on W3 schools. You can search up here, you can search up on Google. Searching things does not make you a bad programmer. Every single programmer searches stuff up. I can't tell you how many times I've searched stuff up in the middle of programming. Just like, oh shoot, I have a bug. How am I supposed to fix this? So does anyone have any last minute questions? I'll try and answer as many as I can.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So for the body thing, when you do the background, do you still leave those like greater than, less than signs?
The thing is, in CSS, you don't use the greater than, less than signs. In the index.html, in the body, there are the greater than, less than signs for the body tag.
Yeah, so how do you do the body thingy, the background?
Yeah, then you go to Style CSS, body, open bracket, close bracket, background color.
Okay.
And then make sure you always link that same style sheet, otherwise it doesn't know to look there. Okay, any other questions?
Can you go back to the CSS for 1 minute?
Oh, how about I'll post this link in the chat. Everyone can go there, look at my site. You can just take a look at it. The code will open source. You can just click on it. You can see everything. You can go to the site. Yeah. So I think I'm going to have to end the call here. If any of you have any more questions, I'm pretty sure I answered every single email sent to me yesterday. Send me emails. I'll always answer. neil.redcard@outlook.com. I'll put that in the chat again. I'll put this, if you can't copy it from the chat right now, in sections. Currently it has the Zoom link. I'm going to update it with the glitch.com link and my email if you have any questions. And make sure to email me if you have any questions whatsoever. If it doesn't let you copy the link. Will I always give Zoom links? Yes, I always give the Zoom links in the sections. If the background doesn't work, you'll have to email me because I need to go now. Okay. So, bye. Have a great rest of quarantine day. Bye.
Okay.